Welcome to the Decipher the Media Podcast. Today, on episode number 4, we have Dave Majcher. He's somebody who I've worked with on many productions in the past around Pittsburgh. He worked on location sound on Body Farm for us. And he came into the production just a few months after we started. Before that, we were just kind of doing some amateur audio on it, which didn't really work out, which is when I suggested that we hire a professional audio guy, and we found Mr. Majcher to come on and fill in for professional sound. And I've been very thankful that he was doing that because the production wouldn't have turned out the way it was without his help. So we talked a lot about audio recording and his work as an audio guy in the area. We also talked about his work on other productions, such as he worked on the Dr. Phil show, and he also worked on a project in Cleveland called Anhedonia with Breckenmeyer and Emily Kinney of The Walking Dead fame. So that's pretty awesome that he's been working on projects like that. And then he's also been working as a grip. So he's been trying to get into the grip union. So he's been putting in his hours as a grip as well. So we talked about that, a few methods of location sound. And we also talked about music and music recording. Particularly, Mr. Majcher is a guitarist. He plays guitar and he records on his guitar, and we discussed a little bit about music and him being in a thrash metal band and him going to concerts, particularly metal concerts that he really enjoys. So it's a well-rounded podcast about sounds, music, and the like. So hope you all enjoy this, and this is going to be episode number 4 with Mr. Dave Majcher. There is most definitely a camera, and hold on. What are you doing?
I'm doing audio things. Leave me alone. I just do things. I'm getting close to my face. I'm allowed to control the microphone.
All right.
I've been moving it this whole time.
I'm just making sure.
I'm thinking around with it.
Don't break it.
I'm not gonna break it. I'm a professional audio guy.
Oh, who said that? I didn't say that. Did I say you were a professional audio guy?
What does this do?
That's like, yeah, that loosens that. We are live. Well, not live, but we're recording.
We're recording. Wonderful.
Yeah. So, all right, we're at, I don't know what episode this is. This is Decipher the Media. Eventually, this episode will go up. It's probably somewhere after episode 5. I'll figure that out at a later date. But welcome to Decipher Media. Let me try that again. Welcome to the Decipher the Media Podcast, a podcast where we discuss media and the deciphering of that particular media. We talk about, we've done film stuff already. We've done more film stuff. We've just bullshitted with the previous guests. Well, today we have Dave. You want me to go with Dave?
I don't care.
Dave Majcher.
Yes, sir.
Dave Majcher. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, I'm Dave Majcher, and I am a professional upcoming sound mixer in the greater Pittsburgh area. I work on film sets. I've worked with Steve here on a few movies now. And I record people. I make people sound good and hide microphones on people, and it's a venturous lifestyle.
Yeah, we've crossed paths several times in the past. That's definitely true. Being an audio guy, he helped me to figure out my new audio setup just a little bit ago. because I had no fucking clue what I was doing.
He doesn't know what phantom power versus not phantom power is. So now he does.
Why don't you explain that to the audience so everyone knows what that is?
Okay, well, we'll see here. Steve has a microphone that he has a shotgun microphone pointing at his face. It's a long little microphone that he enjoys to look at time to time. And it has a battery for a AA in it. It's called a Rode NTG2, and it's a non-phantom powered microphone. And that's what powers it. But he bought this little circular cylinder, and it doesn't have a battery in it. He's a little confused. So I'm like, did you turn the phantom power on? What is that?
I didn't know what phantom power was.
No idea.
Okay.
Well, it works now. He's like, oh, wow, I wish I had known that. The mixer powers the microphone, basically. You turn the switch on the mixer, and the mixer plugs into the microphone, and now it starts working.
See,
Wonderful.
now I know. See, I just learn as I go. So I've never had to,
Yeah, me too.
do that in the past, use phantom power. So, because basically all my microphones up to this point were either USB powered or I put a battery in it. So now I know for the future.
Now you're good to go. Phantom power is the way to go.
Phantom power is the way to go. So what are you working on recently?
Recently, I've had a really, really busy March. The last 3 weeks of March were just insanity. I worked with Dr. Phil.
Really?
Dr.
Phil.
I worked on the Dr. Phil show. He wasn't on set, but I worked for Dr. Phil's production. He did a really messed up.
You can't. He wasn't on there to tell you how much.
No,
a horrible.
I drove.
You are a terrible person because you're a man.
Yeah, no. My Dr. Phil experience sucked, I will say. I got the call the day before when I was on a commercial for a company called Warhol Productions. I was on this First National Bank commercial doing interesting stuff for banking commercials, whatever. But I got a call and I was just like, hey, we want you to, we need an audio guy. We're in a pinch. We want you to use this old ass sound mixer. We don't want you to use your kit and to run it. I'm like, well, what is this old ass sound mixer? Sound Devices 422. I'm like, what the hell is that? It's just like, I think it's the 442. No, it's the 442 or 422 or whatever. But it's this old mixer that doesn't have a screen on it, and it just has a bunch of lit up buttons. And they're like, oh, we need an audio guy. It's a super easy mixer to use, and we need somebody to come in and go out and work for the Dr. Phil show. We have to go it's in Ohio, travel out in location with your camera guy, and start making the show work. So I get to the location in the morning. Luckily, I brought my kit because I was worried. I was like, shit, I don't know if I'm going to know how to use this old-ass, archaic, 20-year-old mixer. I go into the location, and the camera guy named Chuck, the meanest guy I've ever met in my life.
Oh, really?
The prick. He was 75, and he's just like pissed that I was there. He's like, he basically told me, he's like, I'm not happy that you're here, and we have to travel out to Ohio because you have put yourself in a bad situation. You don't know how to use this mixer. I'm like, I got my kit, though. It's okay. I'm probably not even going to use the mixer. I'm not going to tell the company I'm using their kit because I just need to. They're just doing camera audio. I'm just doing a feed to a camera. Once you feed a camera, then your audio actually, it doesn't even matter what you record on the mixer. It's just feeding the camera. So they don't know the difference if you're using your own kit or their kit. It doesn't matter because you're just outputting to the camera and it works. But Chuck was very rude. He basically says, whatever you gotta do, get the job done. Do it. Get it? Shut up. I was like, wow, good morning to you, jackass.
There's a lot of assholes in the
He was
film.
a prick.
I haven't worked a lot in the film industry, but I have met some real assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
I've been there's more and more so I've been on some bigger things, some small things, and a lot of small projects I've been on with really good people, and some people they think you're like the best, and you're like, oh, you're working for me today? Oh, well, here's me. This is what I do, and make it happen. And I'll be like, and I'm gonna be a douche because you're here because I'm wonderful and I'm not gonna pay you anything. I'm like, no, no. But yeah, Chuck was rude. The car ride all the way up, 2 hours out in the middle of Ohio. Dr. Phil was not there. I was sad, but it was only a 3-hour day, which was really nice. We only shot for 3 hours, but we drove for 4 hours. But the guy was so stingy, so rude, and he didn't play any music in the car, which really sucked. So I had to listen or not listen to anything. It was just like, it was either being really mean or I had to like think about my thoughts the whole time. I'm like, fuck, why am I in this car?
Why didn't you just like, I don't know, put some headphones in or something?
Because I was the navigator.
Oh.
It's professionalism.
Professionalism.
Yeah, we went in the Wendy's and he was just like, I want a steak and cheese. What's so hard about that, kid? It was awful. But Dr. Phil's show was okay. But yeah, I've been busy, but I got a big project coming up. So it's redemption time. Working in Cleveland for a 21-day movie called Anhedonia. Stars Breckenmeyer and Emily Kinney. Breckenmeyer is Road Trip and Rat Race. Emily Kinney is The Walking Dead, girl who played Beth. So I'm stoked to actually be on probably the biggest project I've ever landed in the audio industry for myself so far.
Yeah.
I'm stoked to be a part of it, and it's going to be a 21-day straight film. So it's like a 266-hour week. So I don't know if a lot of people can do that, but I'm going to do it.
Oh, hey, it's, you know, it's an opportunity. It's definitely worth it. Especially with that kind of, I mean, that is definitely a bigger, would you say it's more of a bigger indie budget?
Oh yeah. So the project has, I was told that it has a $250,000 budgeted project. Me and Steve normally work on projects that have like 20,000 and under. And like, that's like, still what's weird, low films or low budget films are, if it's under $1 million, it's still considered a low indie. What me and Steve normally work on are something called ultra low indies, or passion projects, as they're really mainly called. Because is
that the official terminology for it?
Yeah, ultra low. Ultra low is just like below, like way below $1 million, and like we're normally working on ultra low projects. They're like they're passion projects. They're ultra. It's called ultra low.
Oh, okay.
Because low indie is, under $1 million. And still, like, this project's like under, it's $250,000 budget almost. Like, damn, this is awesome. I've never been on a project this big. We're shooting on a freaking bus and crap, like an actual like transportation bus. It's actually a very simple script. I finished it today, and it's I can't say anything about it, but like very dialogue heavy.
Okay.
Extremely dialogue heavy.
Well, I mean that's understandable for something that low of a budget. You know, you got to emphasize, at least from my personal experience, you have to emphasize more on the story.
This is a straight up story piece that I landed. It is like it was like when I got 75 pages in, it was like there was only like 35 scenes.
Yeah, does my cat want out?
Yep, I'll let her out.
Okay.
Go away.
Cat's just been chilling here like the entire time, and all of a sudden now she's just tired of us.
Yeah, but no, that's all. It's gonna be interesting. A lot of dialogue, and I've done a very heavy dialogue script before. Me and Steve got to work on a really fun project called Body Farm. We just kill everyone with blood and guts going everywhere. So that was fun. Like I like working on projects that have a lot of off script stuff or off. It's like I guess it's called across the page, like stuff in like action in between the dialogue, like stuff that has a lot of action, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
crazy stuff. A lot of dialogue stuff means I'm going to get really tired holding a boom really fast.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because audio is very important for that.
Oh, my God. It's going to be body mic heaven, relying all about body mics. And then I'll probably have a sound. I asked for a sound PA to hold the boom for me time and time, just because there's time where I will definitely have to.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, at least it's not like audio... I mean, would you say audio action shots would be a lot harder to coordinate?
It's audio action shots are more so like a scratch track. If you're doing like, say it's like a crazy ass sequence with guns. I worked on a project 2 years ago. I worked on a project with Chris Nesbolinsky, whatever. I can never pronounce his name. Whatever. He's a guy who did the project called Truce, which is like a Vietnam film, and we did a reshoot of a Vietnam film 2 years ago. And speaking of like doing audio for gun scenes, like it's like it's a little crazy, and it's like a boom, like it's just easier. Just have to it's just like a boom microphone. If certain things clip because guns go off, well, that's fine because you're gonna Foley that in later. That's really what it is. Yeah,
there's a lot of things that go on in post production for that.
It's I'm assuming. So post production heavy, and it's just easier. Dialogue can be tricky just because like you got to get it right.
Yeah.
got to get it clean, and you got to get it right.
Absolutely,
so that'll be a little
because
stressful.
ADR is not, most of the time, not great, right? Not a great alternative.
Yeah, it's not bad. You just want to get it as clean as you can. I've been pretty good with a lot of the projects I've done. Very, very minimal. I just started. I've done like two ADR sessions this year, and it's been relatively really, really easy. So no, it all depends on how you record it on set, and my job is to make it as clean as possible and explain to the production what's happening if there is a problem.
Right.
And how can we fix it, or
right.
what are we going to do in post-production to make it better?
Right. Communication is key. I understand that. Have you done anything like outside of like the film, sort of like the film community that's audio related? I've always been curious to ask you, any sort of projects that you've done that aren't necessarily film related, but require audio.
That's a good question. It's like I pretty much mainly do production audio because I don't really do audio by myself ever. I like to get paid for doing audio. It's like really about it. The other, like, I guess I've recorded I record music really crappily in my house. It's really about it. It just like sucks. Whatever.
What do you have to do to record that then?
I have hid my Black Star tube amp in my closet. Stuck a vocal microphone on it. I actually lay it on top of my fishing tackle box that actually is not even used for fishing. It's used for my wireless tape. So like for when I wire with people, I put it. I don't even have a mic stand. I lay it on top of this box. It just fits perfectly. I just lay it on the box, and then I put it on the microphone, and then I send all these wires underneath my closet door. I tape the freaking blanket to my closet, and then I send it to my desk, and I start recording. It's fun. It works. It's kind of stupid looking. It's like some guy was laughing at me. He's like, wow. This looks pathetic. You do professional audio, and this is like ridiculously stupid looking. Oh. And I'm like, hey, I don't care. It works.
Yeah.
I get my ideas out. But no, I really don't do anything with audio outside of the industry. Yeah, it's really about it. In the industry, I do other jobs. I work as a grip a lot.
Oh yeah.
I do a lot of grip work. I've done stuff in the union for grip, and I'm gonna continue to get some days. Hopefully, I get hired. Mindhunter Season 2 to do grip days to get my days into the union. So I'll probably be a union grip before I'm a union sound guy. And I've done some camera work in the past, shooting for Brandon Keenan and some other people time to time. Or I've done, I don't really shoot as much as I used to. I used to shoot when I was like out of college. I shot, but I just don't focus on it. I wanted to focus just mainly on sound and doing grip work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do anything like audio wise outside of film.
What do you do with music? Like, do you play an instrument?
Yeah, I play guitar. I don't even know. It's been like 13 years, and I play a lot of. I'm very, very into thrash metal.
Okay.
Love Metallica. Big Slayer fan. Right now, I'm just playing nonstop Alice in Chains. I'm all about learning Alice in Chains riffs. I learned the song Stone yesterday. Stupid fun. So
that's
much fun.
Cool. How long have you been doing that?
Playing guitar, like 13 years, but I was in a couple thrash metal bands too, which was fun. Traveling thrash metal bands.
Oh, really?
We were playing like Slayer tunes like in churches and shit.
Are you serious?
Yeah. We our first show we played a church called Southminster Church. It was like I was like 16, and we had like this. We played. I opened with a song I called "The Pain Within." I wrote the lyrics the day before because I had no lyrics for the song. We're like, shit, we need to write lyrics, and I have always like a really cool song. It's really intense, and I wanted to get lyrics, and I was just like, feel the pain, feel the hate. It's the stupidest lyrics ever. But you know what's funny?
Like playing that in a church.
And we played that in a church, and a mosh pit broke out. I was like, yes.
In a church.
In a church.
Well, these like 90-year-old ladies.
No, not 90-year. I wish. Probably like, yeah, no. It was like a bunch of.
They're like, oh, I feel the pain. I feel the hurt.
Yeah. So we basically. We moshed out. We moshed out a church. But funny was our first show is we played that. Then we played From the Bell Tolls. I think Seek and Destroy Metallica. We only did like 4 songs. And then we did Raining Blood by Slayer. We closed it with that. We had this kid named Zeke come up and join us. He had long black hair and he had a crazy Slayer shirt on and whatnot. And he basically did like the windmill headbang. And he spun his head in a circle. And the first lines, the first verse in Raining Blood after the crazy ass intro is trapped in purgatory. So we said that in a really religious church. And we broke out another mosh pit.
Well,
How did you
end up booking a church?
I don't know. We just booked the church because I think I don't know. Like, 'cause apparently Mount Lebanon is a really, really big thrash metal area.
And they just they play like thrash metal bands.
There's a lot of thrash
churches?
metal bands from Mount Lebo. Like there was like 4 or 5 at the time when I was playing. And there's a lot of the really crazy metalheads come from Mount Lebo, which
That's
is
weird.
really funny. It's like the 80s metalhead. I'm talking like they look like they're straight from the 80s and we play crazy 80s power metal. There's a lot of there's a ton of and I see them at concert shows all the time. Like all the metal people I've met are all from like Lebo.
That's so weird.
It is weird.
I wonder why.
There's just a lot of metalheads out there. From when I was out going there, up in North Allegheny, I didn't know any metalheads, and then I go to Mount Lebo, all the people are thrashing and crazy crap.
Huh. I guess it just depends on the culture of the area.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. It was an interesting thing. I don't know. I love thrash metal.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of punk is a big thing in Pittsburgh. There's a lot of punk bands.
I love punk.
Yeah,
Punk's good stuff. Thrash metal was basically punk sped up with metal.
Okay.
That's where punk or thrash metal came from, because the original metal bands like Metallica and them, they listened to Iron Maiden and that was whatever, but Anthrax, it's just super fast punk.
Yeah.
Anthrax is super fast, speedy punk. And that's kind of what it is. And I love Green Day. That's what was the first band I got into. Seethers, kind of heavier, maybe a little, not really punkish.
Right.
3 Days Grace was a little bit more punkish, I guess.
Yeah, I remember 3 Days Grace.
But they were heavier, and then thrash metal is just a faster version of punk.
Okay, cool. Well, that explains it. It seems to be really in the culture of just Pittsburgh in general, I guess.
Yeah, apparently Pittsburgh is labeled as the most violent moshing city alive.
Really?
We are the some of the best metal cases are from Pittsburgh. Metal cases are like metalheads.
Yeah.
I love metal concerts, and I go to ones, and there is a charting or whatever. Literally, Pittsburgh is the city of just most craziest mosh pits.
I could understand that. I went to Between the Buried and Me a couple weeks ago, and there was some heavy moshing going on there.
Yeah.
One kid and some really rather violent crowd surfing. One of the kids who was crowd surfing, they were kind of more tossing him towards the stage.
Oh yeah, it sucks.
So he had no control over it, and they pretty much chucked him directly at the stage. They had bodyguards standing near the front of the stage to catch these guys. Well, apparently they weren't fast enough. This guy went head first right into the stage, got knocked out cold. They had to stop the show and call an ambulance and stuff and make sure he was okay. It was it was ridiculous.
Yeah, my first concert I went to, or not my first, but I was getting into this band called Machine Head. I love Machine Head.
Okay.
90s groove metal band. They sound like a more brutal version of Pantera, but very, very melodic and just amazing riffs. Just incredible. It's actually very easy to listen to. It's a little brutal, but whatever. That's what it is. But the first time I went to Burgettstown up at Niagara Pavilion, but now it's KeyBank, I guess. Yeah, it's KeyBank Stadium now.
Okay, yeah.
And I went there, and it was their new album coming out for Onto the Locust, and there were these guys. There's hundreds of people everywhere, and there was these giant fat guys taking other fat guys and picking up the fat guys and throwing them in the sky like frickin' mortars.
Oh my god!
And there was I looked around, and there was just fat people. Big fat dudes
flying in the air,
and they were landing on people like mortars. I got hit in the head by a 400-pound guy. it pinched a nerve in my neck.
And
then I was
that's
like,
how you,
and my head was numb for like whatever. And then I just stood up and I was like, oh my God. But then I was just going at it and just kept headbanging. I was just whatever. But you know, it's funny. Like I actually just did a meet and greet with Machine Head, and I told the lead guitarist about that. And he was laughing his ass off. I was like, yeah, I pinched the nerve in my neck and whatever, but I kept going at it. Like it's actually kind of funny that like even though there's a lot of crazy metalheads, the metal community is like so nice. If you go down in a pit. You're immediately, you don't even feel, you touch the ground maybe for a hair, and then you all of a sudden somebody just grabs you and pull you up. But like I hear like country shows, like people are dicks. Like they don't like each other at all. Like no one's nice. But like metal shows and like hard rock shows, like everyone's like so nice and caring and this and that. Like it's such a like a weird community. Like people are like, oh, you listen to Satanism music or whatever. I'm like, it's a gimmick. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like
it's not.
It doesn't
like,
matter.
That's not what it's about.
It's not what it's about. It's all about the energy and whatnot. It's really weird.
Yeah, I completely agree with the country thing because like who is that guy that always comes to Pittsburgh and it's
like
always
Kenny Chesney?
I think it's Kenny Chesney.
I think it is Chesney.
Like he always comes to Pittsburgh and the people are just really belligerent. They get really drunk and they
like destroy and they litter everywhere.
Yeah, they destroy, litter everything, and
it's awful.
Just leave an entire mess. They're absolute assholes. Like all the fans who come are just absolute assholes and treat the city like shit. And then they just leave and leave this mess behind. And I just think it's compared to like what you were talking about, it's just
oh yeah, no, like
shameful.
the I've seen and like metal shows. You see some freaky people. There's no like super hot babes walking around. There's a couple that are like, oh man, I wish that was my girl, whatever. But it's like there are some freaky people that look like they can like touch you with your pointer finger and you'd be dead. Like they're so big and scary and crazy looking. But in the end of the day, you talk to them, they're nice as hell. Freaky. It's like freaky shit.
Yeah.
If you go to a Ghost show though, that's an interesting crowd. Ghost is a satanic Pope metal band.
Satanic Pope metal band. I think I know what you're talking about.
They're big as hell though. They sound like it's really funny. They're really good. They're stupid good. They won like a couple years ago. They won a Grammy for like one of the best metal songs of the year. And there's this guy named Tobias Forge who dresses up as a satanic pope, wearing all Pope clothing, and he has a skull as a face, and
I think I know
really
who you're
messed
talking about.
up. And then he has satanic devils behind them, like unmasked, like or nameless ghouls they're called.
I know who you're
talking
about. The music
is so good. It sounds like Black Sabbath, and like with church-like themes and Halloween mixed together. It's incredible.
Yeah, I've seen that band before. I don't know where I've seen that band before, but I know who you're talking about.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
Because I remember seeing a picture of that guy and I was like, oh, that's really interesting.
No, the band is like incredible. I actually listened to Ghost the whole way here.
Oh, yeah?
I was just like, I'm pissed. I actually have tickets. I don't. Whoever wants my freaking Ghost ticket can have it because I can't get rid of it. I have a Ghost ticket for May 18th. I can't go because I'm on that movie. I bought $50. I'll sell it to you for $35 or less. I don't care. I don't want it.
Well, there you go. Ghost,
take my Ghost tickets. May 18th at the Benedum Center.
Less.
It'll be fun if you like satanic metal.
It's
not even satanic metal. It's satanic happy. It's like the most happiest music you ever listen to. Ghost is like as like evil and terrifying look. It is the most happiest sounding shit you ever listen to.
Huh.
And it's just so good. It's so melodic. It's so happy. You don't even know what the hell's going on. If you didn't know what they were singing about, it would never make like you would never know. It's great.
Awesome. Well, there you go. Tickets or one ticket,
one ticket.
One ticket. Well, there is a ticket available if anyone's interested. $35 or less. Maybe you can maybe get it for less with a few favors.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. The lonesome audio guy life.
Yeah. There you go. Let's see. Let's switch gears a little bit. So let's go back to. I know in the past I've talked extensively about Body Farm, but how was it for you from a sound guy's perspective?
Body Farm was cool. When was that? That was how many years did we work on that? When I came in,
Like
whenever like they
three?
reevaluated the crew.
I think it was like 3 years.
Was it like 3 years ago?
After that point, when they did a sort of reevaluation.
Yeah, I guess I've known him for like 2.5 years, like 2.5, 3 years ago now.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, like I think I jumped on the body farm in my first year of freelance, which is probably 3 years ago now. Yeah, I definitely was, and I didn't know what to. I was still hesitant on like what I was doing in the industry at the time, but I jumped in, lowballed the hell out of myself rate wise, and then came in.
Yeah.
And they were blown away with some of the stuff. But I came in with them. I did like 18 days total over 2 years on that film or whatever. I had a blast.
Oh yeah.
It was really fun. I learned a lot. I didn't know, like, it was cool. Like, Brandon gave me the shot of being an audio guy. Like, I was already in the process of being an audio guy, and I've done a couple things beforehand, but I was still learning. And like, it's so funny. Like, I grew and my kit grew on that project. It was really funny. Like, I came in with just a boom pole and a microphone and a mixer. That's all I had. Didn't have crap. Had like very, very light gear, and went out there, and he was always telling me, he's just like, Dave, your audio sounds great. Your audio sounds great. I'm like, really? I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I'm just kind of just putting a microphone in someone's face and seeing if it works. And like, apparently everybody's liking it. I'm like, okay, cool. And then it was so funny. Like, as it project went on, my kit grew and I grew. And then like, he was like, when the project came to a closer end, like the audio just got so much better. And it wasn't that hard. Like, it was a good project. It was minimal dialogue, nothing too crazy. Some fun camera shots at times.
Yeah.
The lighting was easy to work with when we had Tim Roberts working, because it's like, when you have a good lighting guy, when you can put a boom pole pretty much anywhere, and there's no freaking like hard light anywhere. It's always important.
We actually I had Tim on a few episodes ago, so
yeah,
we got to talk about lighting and stuff.
Yeah, he does a really good job with lighting. I like working with pro lighting guys. And he still has a lot to learn, and we've talked about it, and he knows a lot, and he'll be a really good pro at some point. Like, all of us will be like, I kind of have an idea of like who's gonna be like good sounding good guys further down the line.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Like, we still have a lot to learn, but all of us learned a lot on that project. It was a good project. It was fun. It was crazy. We got to do some blood. I love working on blood sets. Like I was saying before, like, action stuff is fun. Not like heavy dialogue all the time is pretty intense and it can be really stressful, but it's fun to do some stuff. That was a really good project. It was one of the raunchiest crews I've ever worked with. Yeah,
I think
it's like
raunchy is on like a lighter term for
us, that's a lighter term. It was so funny. It was after we started working together. We were a tight knit group. It was funny. We went through PAs on that set religiously. Like, we would get in all kinds of just PAs, and I feel like Brandon would never hire them again because they were too PC for our taste in like how we just talked and acted, like the core crew members. Like, we went through so many PAs just because they're like, they were too.
It was also like really spaced out. Like, all the shoots were really spaced out. So,
but I remember like one of them, like Brandon's like, I'm never hiring that guy again. He's just like so annoying and so weird. He's like, I'm not bringing that guy on again. I'm not gonna say names because I remember the guy's name.
Hold on, I'm trying to think. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that got caught on the audio. I'll have to bleep
it doesn't
that
matter.
out.
Yeah, I was kidding. Can't hear anything. I didn't say anything.
I think the mic might have caught that. I might have to cut that out. But
really?
Okay, yeah.
No way in hell I caught that.
I'll check at the end.
Didn't say a full name. I said part of a name.
Did you?
Yeah. I didn't say the full name.
Maybe I misheard you. I don't know. We'll discuss it later.
No, it's all good. It was a great project.
Yeah.
Everybody learned and this and that, and we did some fun stuff. I like that project. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Did
fun.
I answer that question?
Sure.
I don't know.
I don't know.
There were podcasts in my life.
We can go anywhere with it. It doesn't matter. Yeah. How did you get started in audit? Like, just in film in general, I should say.
So I don't know. I always wanted to be in film. Period. My parents knew I was always dramatic. I was thinking about doing acting when I was younger. Whenever my parents would take me to Disney World when I was younger for family vacations, I would go to like the Indiana Jones exhibit with the crazy like the whole like stage thing.
Yeah,
the
stage
thing is nuts.
So
it's
great.
The greatest thing in the world. And it's like I went to it so many times when we were down there. Like I had to see it like every day. I was like,
it sucked the first time I saw that because I think it was like, you remember how it was split up into like 3 acts?
Yeah.
Like Act 1 was like he gets away from the boulder. I think Act 2 is like the town scene or something like that.
It was amazing.
Well, I think it was like they couldn't do, it was either Act 2 or Act 3 because something broke down and we had to leave, and I was
that sucks.
So disappointed that I didn't get to see the whole thing.
Yeah. But did you ever see it again?
Yeah, I think we went
good.
like my family went back another year, or it might have been the same time. We just went at a different day.
Yeah.
And thankfully they had everything fixed and I was able to see it
I
again.
saw that so many times, and that kind of like got me in the idea of working in like just the whole theater thing. You know, it's funny. I've never worked on theater. That's basically like a theater presentation.
Yeah.
I've never have done theater work ever. I've never worked on anything theater related, but I always liked that, and that's whatever. And like parents, and I was always running around doing stupid action like things and being super over dramatic. I always had the idea that I wanted to do acting. So the original idea was to be an actor, and then whatever. And then I finally, when I got out of college, or when I was in high school, I never took any like classes in like TV or any of that stuff. I just didn't know what to do. It was like I knew I'm gonna work, but I wanted to learn more music stuff in high school. I was like, maybe I'll do music stuff. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? And then I went to college, La Roche, and I just got into a film degree. I said, like, all right, I'm gonna go to film school. I'm gonna do something. It was still in my mind. I never knew what I wanted to do.
So just going for like
going for a general film degree, but I'm going to work in the industry for something. But my mom is very, very religious, and she always told me, she's like, Dave, you're gonna like, she's like, God spoke to me at one point, and you're going to like, I used to do sound effects when I was whatever, and she says God spoke to me, and you're supposed to work in audio, like you're going to be like this sound guy. And I'm like, okay. She was always saying like, you're destined to be a sound guy. Like she told me that before I went to college for film. So like that's kind of freaky. And like she always told me that I was going to be sound guy because Jesus and God spoke to her saying that I'm going to do that. And that's what's going to be like my career.
Huh.
And so I was like,
All
okay.
right.
So, and it was funny. Like, I was like, okay, Mom. All right. Destiny. I don't know.
All right.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
She's a Christian counselor, so she's super religious.
That's what Jesus says.
That's what Jesus says. Okay. Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
do,
I'll do it.
I'll keep that in mind.
I'll keep that in mind, basically. And I was like, okay. So it's funny. I started working, just getting in film classes, getting into more stuff. And I worked on an indie film. Came in as a PA. And it was funny, actually. The guys that I did it with was Brendan and Zach, who owned Kept Shut Productions at the time. So I worked for this project called The Door Kept Shut. And their boom operator supposedly dropped out, and I held a boom pole on this really, really low-budget short film.
There you go.
I thought it was really fun. I was kind of good at it. I was like, but they were telling me, like, Dave, there's this guy named John Gannade. Love him. He's funny as hell. He's a guy at Pitt. He's just like, Dave, point the boom at the actor's face. That's what I remember hearing. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't hold the boom. Like, me and this other guy would swap back and forth because we couldn't hold the boom because it was so tiring. Like, the muscles were not formed. We couldn't hold a boom pole for more than, like, 30 seconds to a minute.
That's why I hate booming. It's just, I've had to do it in the past, and I hate having to just, like, stand there like this. It's
you shake.
I can't do it.
The shake is brutal.
I don't have the muscle capacity to like do this for like, long periods of time.
Yeah, it beats you up. It took me a while to get the muscles for it, but I did that, and after I did the little independent film, I got called again. So the same people who did that movie, and they're like, "Hey, Dave, we want you to come back and be a boom operator for our next short film." I'm like, "Okay, great, I'd love to do it." So I came back and did another project, did a little bit more, got a little bit more into it, got better at it. And then after that short film ended, then I was asked by Jack Davis, who did The Chop. And The Chop was my first mixing job.
The Chop, I think I remember.
The Chop was like that wannabe, it was like a low, ultra low indie Fast and the Furious.
Okay.
And that's the project that I was my first mixing job, and this was like 3.5-4 years ago.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing still. You know what I mean? And I bought a boom pole, which was the NTG3 and like a little 7-foot boom, and that's all I had. I just bought a microphone and a boom pole, no mixer, but they had the mixer, and I worked with Ray Mongelli on that project, Ray and Missy Mongelli. And they had all the camera gear, and then they had a little sound mixer. And they were like, I came in the set, and they're like, she's like, oh my God, you have a Rode. What? We always have these crappy little microphones. And they had a boom pole that was made of a mop. So they made a mop boom pole, and awesome. I brought in my like intercoiled boom pole, and I used their mixer. And that was the job that I learned how to mix and boom. And that actually taught me how to be a really good boom operator, because I was starting to get better, and I was thinking about how to, like, I learned about the polar pattern and like how to control the axis on the microphone accurately without wireless microphones, and that's kind of how I did it. And then I kept getting asked after that project wrapped. I kept getting asked, and I was like, I feel like this is something. So I'm like, I might as well get a mixer, and I bought a mixer, and now I'm like $14,000 down the drain, and now I have a bunch of crap.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's how
it goes. But yeah, that's how I started, and now I'm a full-time freelance sound mixer.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere, and you just got to find what you're good at.
Yeah, and I definitely didn't go for acting because I can't memorize shit.
Yeah,
I can't talk.
I wanted to try and get into acting because I was in like a middle school stage performance of, I think it was Pocahontas, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I played in the performance, I think it was an older John Smith, not the younger John Smith, an older John Smith recollecting on the life of Pocahontas. So basically most of my stuff, I just read lines while standing in front of a trash can that was flipped upside down and repurposed as a gravestone for Pocahontas.
Intriguing.
I know, but I always liked that, and I always wanted to like try out acting, but I got sucked into like that you had to be like popular,
or you had to be like sexy.
No, I meant like, well,
I don't think Steve's sexy enough for this.
Yeah, I know. I was never sexy
I'm going
enough.
bald, so I'm not into it. Definitely not sexy enough for being an actor.
Well, I got sucked into like being in sports and stuff, which basically, if you want to be
Is that through Brandon?
Part of the cool kids. What?
Or like for like you talking about like sports filming wise?
No, like playing sports in high school. Like to be one of the cool kids. So I never got into like high school like stage stuff because of that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And I regret not doing that. But it's whatever. I get to be behind the camera. So
yeah. Did you ever want to go full-time freelance?
I've tried to do full-time freelance, and I wanted to shoot myself, which is why I don't really do it much anymore.
Right. It sucks. It's really brutal. Full-time freelance is really brutal, but
I tried to do it for like 2 or 3 months, and I was terrible at it. I just couldn't get enough jobs.
Right. I know I saw a niche with sound because people kept asking me to do ultra low indies, and I was like, okay, there's a little thing here. And I heard at the time there was only one other guy named Chris Bell doing it. And I was like, oh, so it's just me and Chris Bell.
This motherfucker.
Oh, this guy takes all my freaking jobs. I'm always having some issues with Chris, but no, I love Chris Bell. He's great.
Chris is great.
Me and him, he's gotten me some really big gigs in the past, and I've always sent his name all over the place, so we do some good work. But we are definitely competing with each other like nonstop.
Definitely, you guys seem to be at the top of the indie scene in Pittsburgh. For sound. And I saw that niche, so that's why I was like, okay, I think freelancing is the way to do it. And I had a big internship here in the city for a film company, and that's how I got further in the door past the indie level. That's how I got on big corporation projects and whatnot, working with like Westinghouse and big commercials, Sunkist, Lego. Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That got me my foot in the door. I've done big corporates because of them, and then they're like, I was an intern, and then they're like, hey, this is Dave, he's doing audio, and then it sent me to another thing. I've done like oil site audio, Like crazy crap, crazy corporate videos I've gotten on because I was I had a big internship.
What do you think would be the craziest thing you've done?
Craziest thing, audio wise?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like probably I don't really know. Like the craziest crap probably was working on the chop. We did some really stupid crap.
Oh really?
We were hanging out of cars, like holding microphones and shit.
I'm assuming there wasn't
while we were driving like 80 miles per hour.
I'm assuming there wasn't the proper safety precautions.
No, not on the chop. We whatever got the shot and whatever got the audio, we did it. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
Stupid crap.
Jesus.
But it doesn't matter. It looked cool. But probably the dumbest thing you can do, and I've done it a few times. And I just did it on a project called Mulligan, which was this big TV show here in Pittsburgh. It was big like union but not union project.
Yeah.
Had Steve O'Paris. It was the AD of the city working on it, like the AD for films here. Every project comes here. He's like he's the guy. And then they had the freaking guy from Mindhunter named Brian Osmond who shot all of camera operator on Mindhunter.
Okay.
And I was like, how the hell am I the sound mixer to these like legends? I'm like, cool. But I was like, to impress them, the stupidest thing I did was I got in the back of a car, laying down in the trunk, and they were doing a police chase sequence, and I laid in the back of the trunk while they were going about 90 miles per hour around turns.
Good Lord.
And I mixed their audio perfectly.
That's awesome.
Hid microphones, but you're not supposed to do that. Don't do that. That's a bad thing to do. You're supposed to put the mixer in the car. If you don't have crazy wireless stuff, put it in the car, set it up, and walk away. And then press record and walk away. I did actually I did a lot of that record walk away because we had a lot of shots of like crazy camera rigs on golf carts because it was a golfing show. And I basically stuck my mixer in the like basket in the golf cart, in the back of the golf cart. And they would drive around for like 40 minutes and my mixer would just still record. And so would the cameras too, because that's what they were doing. There was no camera and there was no like other car following them. It was just a camera and a sound mixer stuck to the golf cart, and it would just record for days.
Sounds pretty simple, actually.
That's simple. You just have to rig it correctly.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I don't remember what we're talking about now. Dangerous. The most crazy stuff. The most craziest shoot I ever saw, though, in my career of filmmaking was when I was an intern, and it was a raining money shoot. The company that I interned for rented out 100,000 fake $1 bills called movie picture use only money.
Yeah.
And oh my God. And we did a political ad. It was Tom Corbett versus Tom Wolfe, like I don't know, like 6 years ago. And we went down to this Aspen wall and we rained money over the city of Aspinwall. We literally made it rain. We had the producers screaming, "Money! Money!" We were shooting a thing in off speed, which is slow motion. And we would have like realistic shots, and they would cut to slow motion of people looking into the sky, and there'd be hundreds of thousands of dollars of money just flying through the streets. The freaking 3 days of filming that was super windy, and there was money going everywhere, flying all over the place over this local town. We had to put a reverse 911 call out so that people would not spend these money because it looks super real. Because after more and more it hit the ground, they looked exactly real because they were dirty and gross. We literally had like, there was people on CO2 canisters on ladders, like 15 feet in the air, shooting hundreds and thousands of ones out of their hands with a Dremel, with this wooden block, and shooting into this compressing cannon. And then they had a bunch of production assistants on the ground with these giant fans, and we were there was giant stacks of money. It looked like Bryan Cranston's like Breaking Bad, basically. We would just go into like a box and start picking up money and flicking it like you'd make it rain, and just doing that noise. And then the producer was like, "We can't cut yet. We're still shooting," and they're still shooting in slow motion. So we're running around picking up ones and throwing it into the fans. It was crazy. It was the stupidest, ridiculous thing. I remember we blew up. We actually shot we lost I think 40,000 ones. They had an idea to return the ones back to the company, but it was all fucked up and it was all destroyed and screwed up.
You can say fuck.
Okay, fine. I said fuck.
Fuck.
All right, whatever. But
we said cunt like 40 times on the one podcast.
Wonderful.
Before, so
if I can say fuck, I can say cunt. I was supposed to say that backwards. I messed up. I said it backwards. Whatever. But yeah, we They lost about 40,000 ones. They lost a lot of money, and that ad note was never.
They didn't think that was gonna happen.
No.
They were like, "Oh yeah, we're returning all
It was
these."
funny. We were shooting next to a freeway. All the money was going on the freeway, and cars are swerving, just raining money in the sky.
I wonder if people were like, were people getting out of their cars and
I
like,
think
"Oh
so.
my God,
Yeah.
yes, oh,
Dude.
I'm rich."
Dude, it was the most ridiculous crap I've ever seen. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I thought it was really funny. That was the most absolutely ridiculous thing I've ever been on. That company that I interned with, they did some crazy crap. Yeah, we did a Steelers commercial. Like people wearing like Steelers clothing. I helped set up. I was a grip on that, and I helped set up a beauty pageant.
Okay.
For like a Steelers shirt. It was like this whole entire beauty pageant. We had a ballerina dancing. We had a freaking like symphony playing with people wearing Steelers shirts. It was wacky. We did a wedding, crazy crap. They do crazy skits.
Huh.
Fun stuff.
That's interesting.
I don't know. Indies though, I haven't worked on anything too crazy indie wise though.
Where's the furthest you've gone to work on a project?
Well, it's going to be now coming up to Cleveland. Will be like the furthest I will be gone because I'll be gone for 21 days straight.
Okay.
But the furthest I've been on recently, I don't know. It's always like 2 hours. I've been working in West Virginia a lot recently.
Okay.
So only like an hour and a half away normally. I actually just worked in the furthest I actually just worked was in Altoona. I just did a pilot in Altoona, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was called Almost Grown Ups. It's actually getting blown up all over the Pittsburgh Film Crews paging. They won't stop. They blow it up every day.
Oh really?
The guy named Kirk. He keeps blowing everybody up. I love Kirk. He's wonderful. Interesting group of people. But that was a very sexual comedy show. If you like seeing Dave Ogrodowski even more, because he's in every like indie project, love the guy.
Dave.
You can see him. That was a fun set because I did some on-set Foley for some penetrating noises with ramen noodles. So get that through your head. I'm not going to spoil it, but I did some penetrating noises with ramen.
That's great.
Yeah, I got to do some fun on-set Foley. Good. It was I just did that like a few weeks ago. I went to Altoona for 6 days, and Altoona's kind of far. It's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I went to school at Juniata, which is like 40 minutes from Altoona.
Yeah.
It was like the closest place to go if you wanted to like go shopping or go to a decent restaurant or something like that.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
I'm familiar with the place.
Yeah, I'm stoked. We're actually coming back to do the second episode, and I come back after the Slayer. Damn, that's right. I go to Cleveland, come back, go to Memorial Day weekend, then I go to Altoona. Then luckily after what's greatest thing about the end of the Altoona shoot, Slayer's final farewell tour.
Oh really?
The next day, so it's a good week.
Nice.
Working on a very, very raunchy skit to Hell, Satan, Slayer music.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, I haven't worked too far. I've been asked to go to New York a couple times, but every time it was going to happen, it got canceled.
It falls through.
Every time.
That'd be fun to work in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to live there, but working there would be fun.
Yeah, I was hesitant about moving there. I kind of wish I moved to Atlanta though. A while ago.
There's a lot of talk about people going to Atlanta.
Yeah, but do you know the role if you want to get in the union? Do you know the union rules?
What's the union rules?
If you want to be a union guy working on a union set, and there's like 300 plus union sets in Atlanta, so there's like booming amount of work. You have to in order to join the IATSE union, you have to live 18 months in that state before you can even write an application.
Oh, really?
To get in the union. So that's why I didn't move. So that's why I'm still a Pittsburgh sound guy.
So you would have to spend pretty much 18 months doing non-union gigs.
Yeah, before you can even apply to put your name in put your name on the list, and then you still got to grind and hustle your way in.
Man, that's rough.
It's like could be 2.5 years.
And I assume moving to a new city, if you don't have any connections there, that's probably like starting
fresh. Literally starting fresh, and that's why I was really hesitant. I had a lot of friends that moved California and this and that, but I always wanted to get in the union, but that is like how it works. And I told actually Joe that. Joe was really really wanted to go and move to Atlanta, and I told him, he says, I want to join the union in Atlanta. I was like, dude, are you aware that you have to have an 18-month year residency? And then he's like, no. I'm like, Look it up. It's called the Local 479. Yeah. That's the role.
Yeah, he mentioned that to me too. So
he was pissed when I told him because I found him when I was going to a set. I was working in December and I saw him walking by and he was just about to crack. And I was like, you can't, don't move to Atlanta unless if you're trying to go in the union because you're not going to be able to get in right away.
Yeah,
it's tough.
It's rough. You gotta really know people, I guess.
Yeah, or you join the union here and then you transfer, which you can do.
Oh, so that's what you're working towards.
Because then I can have that option. I don't know what the deal is with the transfer, when you can transfer, once you're in the union in a certain state.
Yeah.
But it is a thing that you can do eventually. So.
Cool.
Yeah. No.
Well, where are we at on this?
I don't know. How long have we been talking?
I think a little over 50 minutes.
It's pretty good, I guess.
Yeah. Well, best of luck to you in the future.
Thank you, buddy.
Always a pleasure talking to you and working with you on set.
Always a pleasure.
As we always cross paths in one way or another. I'm sure we will cross paths again.
I think the last time I saw you was on Remnants.
Remnants
was James Garvin's project.
Oh, yeah.
We worked at the...
Well, we did one more thing on Body Farm after that, didn't we?
Did we?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all kind of blurring together at this point.
Yeah, it does. Like, people always ask me, like, what do you do? I'm like, I can't even remember half the crap I've been on.
Yeah.
It's like, I've been on a lot of movies. It's a good sign, but, like...
Yeah.
I actually remember.
What was I, like the sound mixer. I'm using quotation marks, sound mixer on, I think it was a 48 that Joe and Ian did.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I ended up doing it, but yeah, I was like, oh boy, I don't do this, so this is like foreign territory to me.
Yeah.
They're just like, here's a boom pole and a mixer. I'm like, okay, if you really trust me with this.
Yeah, I like Joe and Ian. They're great.
Yeah, they're fun to work with. I was not prepared for that.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
It turned
about
out all right.
Touching like a camera, some cameras at least.
Yeah.
I can navigate myself through a red though. I understand the red very well.
Oh really? I don't think I've ever worked with a red.
Reds are really simple.
I've worked with Canons, Blackmagics.
Yeah, the red is stupid easy to navigate through. Like I've never shot with it, but you can press it's a really easy screen to like it's so intuitive, and like I've done when I patch in my audio into it, I have to navigate through the system and set the stuff up, but they're easy to use.
Yeah. Now they got that new Blackmagic that everyone's talking about. It's gonna be coming out.
I've never seen it, but Joe's really worried that everyone's gonna turn into a DP. I'm like, I highly doubt that, but whatever. Yeah. I saw that post on TC. I'm like, I started laughing.
Facebook. I was
I don't see that happening.
I was like, well, hey, what about for us who can't afford,
How much does it cost?
$5,000 to $10,000. It's like only $1,000, maybe a little over $1,000.
Okay.
I'm like, well, I can't afford like a $5,000 to $10,000 camera, so that would be right up my alley.
Right.
Or I just don't want to put myself in that much debt.
Yeah, that's how me and Chris Bell on the Zoom F8 was only $1,000 sound mixer.
Yeah.
Does insane amount of crap, and we've both made a fortune on it. Just buy whatever you think is going to get you the most money back. I know
that I probably won't get the money back on it, but because I don't do it enough.
Right.
For obvious reasons that I hate freelancing. Well, it's too much stress on me to freelance full time, so I just can't do it. But
yeah, whoever wants to go freelance, be motivated.
Yeah, it's definitely you have to
pure motivation.
You have to be very good at self motivation. I try to self motivate myself, but it's just it's not always there.
That's how I feel when I want to go work out. I'm really good or talking to a girl. I'm like, damn it, I suck at this.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect, but no, just get out there and do it. Do what you want to follow, what path you want, and take it.
Follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams.
Follow the rainbow. It'll lead to that pot of gold.
Or nothing.
Pot of poop. Poop pot.
Poop emoji.
Poop emoji. It'll just be a little poop emoji there for you.
I guess that's the end, right? That's how we end this podcast. Poop emoji.
All right.
And now I have to take a shit, so good night.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Poop emoji. Peace out. Poop emoji.